You know that feeling, right? It's like a weight on your chest, this quiet, constant pressure, the feeling that you're just drowning, drowning in a sea of expectations, responsibilities, deadlines, and the water is rising fast. It starts the second you open your eyes in the morning. I mean, before your feet even touch the floor, the storm is already here. The battle's on, and it feels like you're already losing. And there it is, that little vibration on the nightstand. But it's not just a notification, is it? It's a summons, a leash, pulling you into a world of demands that's been waiting all night to pounce. Then you open your inbox, and it's just overflowing. Each email is like another wave crashing over the side of your boat. Another voice demanding your time, your energy, your focus right now. The day has just started and you're already behind. And then there's that cold knot in your stomach. You look at the numbers and they just don't add up. That constant weight of not having enough, of needing to do more, to earn more, to just be more. Your chest gets tight. So what do? What do we all do? We start bailing. We paddle frantically because we're absolutely convinced that if we stop for even 1 second, the whole thing sinks. We're convinced it all depends on us, on our effort. But you know, this feeling, this internal storm, it's nothing new. Let's rewind about 2,000 years to a different boat on a different sea. Because there, the storm wasn't just a feeling. Oh no, it was terrifyingly real. And you gotta understand, the men in this boat, they weren't rookies. These were tough, hardened fishermen. The Sea of Galilee, this was their office, their backyard. But this storm, this was something else entirely. The sky goes black. The water turns into a liquid hammer, just smashing against the hull of their little wooden boat. They're screaming just to hear each other over the wind. They are soaked, they are freezing, and they are doing everything humanly possible just to stay alive. But in the middle of all that chaos, all that terror, all that frantic, desperate work, something completely unbelievable is happening in the back of the boat. I mean, just picture the contrast. You've got the disciples in the middle of a hurricane, waves hammering them, screaming in terror, bailing water for their lives. And then you have Jesus in the stern of that same boat, asleep, on a cushion. Well, the disciples, they just can't take it. They scramble back to him, they shake him awake, and what they scream at him, it reveals everything. It shows us that the wind and the waves, that wasn't the real problem. The real storm was raging inside of them. Teacher, don't you care if we drown? Think about that question. It comes from a place of pure terror and accusation. And isn't it the same question we ask? God, do you see my bank account? Do you see this relationship falling apart? Do you see me drowning here? Don't you care? They were totally convinced their problem was the storm outside. The wind, the waves, the water flooding the boat. But was that really the thing that was sinking them? No. The real storm, the one that was truly terrifying, was their terrified lack of faith. It was a blindness that kept them from realizing that the being who spoke wind and waves into existence was sitting 3 feet away from them. And then Jesus gets up. And notice what he doesn't do. He doesn't grab a bucket. He doesn't help them with the sail. He stands up, turns his back on his terrified friends, and speaks directly to the chaos. Just 2 words. Quiet. Be still. And the wind just stops. The waves fall flat. Instantly. This isn't the storm slowly dying down. This is supernatural stillness. 1 second, it's a hurricane. The next, the sea is like a sheet of glass. And get this. The Bible says that in that moment, they became even more terrified than they were during the storm. Because in that deafening silence, it finally dawned on them who was in the boat with them. So what's the point of all this? The point isn't some guarantee that Jesus will silence every storm in your life. No, the lesson is it's much more profound. It's a direct challenge to our deepest instinct, that desperate, frantic need to keep bailing our own water. And that's the choice, isn't it? It's your choice. You can keep bailing, you can keep living like it all depends on you, on your strength, or you can stop. You can put down the bucket, you can start trusting, and you can find the peace that only comes from his presence. This right here is the whole key.
Peace is not the absence of the storm. Your problems, my problems, they might not just magically disappear. Peace is the presence of Jesus in the storm. It's the profound calm of knowing that the one who commands the waves is in the boat with you.
So I have to ask you, and I'm asking myself, in the middle of all your chaos, your anxiety, your debt, what would actually happen if you finally let go? If you put down the bucket, stopped bailing, and just sat down next to him?